It's not God's conditional will where you have a part, you can decide, but God has already decided. It's already on the script. He's already planned to bless you, to favor you, to rescue you, to turn that trouble around. There's nothing you can do except sit back and enjoy the ride. You stepped in to the unstoppable God, the part of His plan that is not negotiable. My mind is alert. My heart is receptive. I will never be the same. In Jesus' name, God bless you. I want to talk to you today about secure in His sovereignty. We all have our own free will. We can make decisions, do what we want, go where we want to go. It's easy to think that our life is based on what we're choosing. And to a point, of course, that's true, but that's not the only factor. God has a conditional will. These are things He does based on whether or not we make good choices. We determine the course our life will take. But God also has a sovereign will. These are things He's going to do regardless of our decisions. God has already planned ahead of time a purpose for you to fulfill. He's not making it up on the fly, watching how you're going to perform, how disciplined you'll be. Then He's going to decide whether He does certain things. He's not watching to see what other people do, what bad breaks come your way, what disappointments. Then He'll pivot, come up with another plan. It says in Ephesians, you were chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of Him who works out everything according to His will. Long before you got here, God laid out the plan and purpose for your life. His sovereign will is unstoppable. There's nothing you can do or not do to keep His sovereign will from coming to pass. You can't make too many mistakes. You can't get so far off course that God's going to change His mind. Just ask Jonah. He did exactly opposite of what God told him to do. Went his own way. He got in trouble, was thrown overboard into the sea. God didn't say, too bad, you're on your own. You should have listened. God had a big fish waiting for him. It's like God called an Uber, swallowed him up, took him to the shore. God was saying, Jonah, you can't stop my sovereign will. Where I want you to go, you're going to go. Not just in negative things. When it's His sovereign will for you to be blessed, it's not dependent on what family you come from, how much experience, talent, education you have. The blessing will overtake you. You'll see favor that you didn't have anything to do with. You didn't earn it. You weren't born into it. You can't explain it. It's the unstoppable God carrying out the plan that He decided long ago. When you go to a Broadway play, you don't show up and the actors are all there without a script. Play starts in 15 minutes. Let's decide what we're going to do. What's the plot? What character will the drama unfold? The script has already been written. Long before the actors ever arrive, the writer has already decided what's going to take place. When you walk in the theater, there's not an empty stage. The carpenters don't show up. Say, okay, let's build some sets. What props are you going to need? The lighting director, tell me the scene so I can get some lights. Let me figure everything out. The stage has already been set. The props are already in place. The script already finalized. In the same way, you didn't show up on planet Earth and God say, okay, let me figure out a script for them. Let me figure out what role they'll play. You weren't born into an empty stage. God didn't think, I have to decide what environment they'll be in. What family, what people should I use, what experiences. Long before you arrived, God wrote a script for you. The fact that you're here is a sign that the stage is set. All the props are in place. All the people you need. Yes, there may be some drama, ups and downs, things you don't understand, but you can stay in peace knowing that it's all working according to His will. You're not at the mercy of fate, happenstance. Hope you get some good breaks. Hope this sickness doesn't take you out. There is a sovereign God who is in control of your life. His sovereign will cannot be overridden by bad choices, by other people, by how you were raised, by what you didn't get. Jeremiah said, God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. You didn't show up because your mother and father decided to have a baby. It wasn't a random coincidence that they got together. Sometimes when a pregnancy is not planned, we say this baby was a surprise. You may have been a surprise to your parents, but you are not a surprise to our God. He's been thinking about you for generations. Jeremiah went on to say, God's plans for you are for good, to give you a future and a hope. Part of His sovereign will is to be good to you. There are blessings coming that are unstoppable. There is favor in your future that is simply the goodness of God, something that He's already planned that cannot be overridden. You don't have to worry about how it can happen, how you can get ahead, how you can leave your mark. The sovereign God has already not only planned it, but He will make it happen. It's not up to you, it's up to Him. Blessings that chase you down, favor you didn't see coming, good breaks that you couldn't explain. It's already written in your script. It has already been set. How could I be up here today? This is not something that I chose, not something that I worked for, that I was hoping to attain. I didn't want to get up in front of people. I didn't think I could minister. For 17 years, I stayed behind the scenes. My choices were determining my future. I was comfortable. I would have stayed there. But at one point, I came into the sovereign will of God. His will is unstoppable. God will let you make decisions up to a point. He'll let you be in control of your destiny for periods of time. But at certain times, He will take complete control. He will override your decisions and thrust you into your destiny. When my father died, I not only knew I was supposed to step up and pastor the church, but suddenly I had the desire. I wanted to. I hadn't had that desire for 36 years. In fact, I was just the opposite. I dreaded getting up in front of people. But when you hit one of these sovereignty moments, when it's not God's conditional will, where you have a part, you can decide, but God has already decided. It's already on the script. He's already planned to bless you, to favor you, to rescue you, to turn that trouble around. There's nothing you can do except sit back and enjoy the ride. You stepped in to the unstoppable God, the part of His plan that is not negotiable. He's not looking for your opinion. He's not asking what you think. He will override every force trying to stop you. One Tuesday, I was going to work just like another ordinary day. I was at the church. A friend called I hadn't spoken to in years. He said, Joel, I want to take you to lunch today. I said, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Let's do it another day. He said, no, it's important. I want to do it today. I said, what's it about? He said, I'll tell you when you get there. I thought, oh, great. He's going to have a project. He's going to need something from me. I canceled an appointment to go. Normally, I wouldn't have done that. I'm very routine, but for some reason, I wanted to go. We got to the restaurant. He said, Joel, the Rockets basketball team is moving out of the Compact Center. You should try to get that for your church. What he didn't know is we had been turned down twice trying to buy property to build an auditorium. I was discouraged, thinking that we were at a dead end. When he said that, it was like a bomb exploded on the inside. I knew this building was supposed to be ours. Looking back now, I don't know how I had the faith for it. I was oblivious to the fact that it was going to cost $100 million to renovate. Sometimes God will hide things from you on purpose. I wasn't moved by critics telling us we didn't have a chance. I had this unshakable confidence, knowing that God could make a way even when I didn't see a way. And there are these times that you don't have a choice. God will give you the faith. He'll bring the building to you, the idea, the right people, the favor. It's the sovereign Lord. See, the city built this building for the Rockets to play basketball in. They didn't realize long before they built it, God had already decided it was going to be ours. It was already written in the script. At the right time, His sovereign will came to pass. And I'm all for making good decisions, honoring God, being our best. But there are times we don't have the faith. We make mistakes. We get off course. We didn't do our best. But when it's His sovereign will, He will override your doubt, override your mistakes, override what's trying to stop you, and you'll defeat the giant. You'll get your Compact Center. You'll meet the person of your dreams. You'll step into your greatness. I laid down, these are blessings, favor, breakthroughs that God has already written in your script. Instead of worrying, thinking that's never going to happen, trying to earn it, why don't you do like David and say, oh, sovereign Lord, thank you for the good things you have in store for me. Thank you for choosing me before I could choose you. Thank you for not depending on my performance, my faith, my circumstances, but blessing me because of your goodness. Well, Joel, it sounds like you're saying that we can do whatever we want and God's still going to bless us. No, what I'm saying is you cannot change God's sovereign will. You may not perform perfectly all the time. You may not deserve His blessing, but when it's His sovereign will, it doesn't depend on what you do or don't do. God has decided to make it happen. What God decides is unstoppable. In the scripture, Saul was the biggest enemy of the church. He got letters from the courts to have people arrested that were following Christ. He was like a terrorist. You would think he's too far gone. God wouldn't have anything to do with him. No, don't write anybody off. You don't know what God has planned ahead of time. His sovereign will cannot be stopped by our choices. Saul was on a horse traveling to Damascus to have people arrested. He's on a mission to cause more havoc. Suddenly a light shined down from heaven like a flash of lightning, knocked him to the ground. It was so powerful that he couldn't see. A voice boomed out, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" Saul answered back, "Who are you, Lord?" All of a sudden, he's using the word Lord. That day was a turning point. Saul eventually became the Apostle Paul, who wrote almost half of the New Testament. If God based His will only on our decisions, Paul wouldn't have had a chance. The beauty is God has a sovereign will that overrides our choices. It's the goodness of God, loving us when we don't deserve it, showing us mercy when we should have judgment. You may have gotten off course, made decisions you're not proud of. You feel like you're washed up. Can I encourage you? The sovereign God is still in control of your life. He's already planned ahead of time these moments of mercy, healing, favor, where He won't just restore you, but He'll thrust you into your purpose. Paul wrote in Galatians, "Before I was born, God called me to proclaim the good news to the Gentiles." He was saying, this is what God decided ahead of time. But I couldn't see it. I was doing just the opposite, going the wrong way. Then the sovereign God stepped in, the God who overrides our decisions.